of like, oh my God, I just had the most incredible experience. 90% of my pain is gone. And somehow that's what keeps them there. That's what keeps them engaged. That's what keeps them going. So I don't know what keeps people going. Some people, they need something. That we need some adversity. We need some challenge in our life to stay conscious. To stay aware. So I think it's a laundry list of complex things. It's a list of complex things. But when they all come together, that nodal point, that moment where it all lines up, again, we see people that have that experience and they're completely healed and it never comes back. But now they're ready to create a job and they're on to the next thing. And then we see people that over time heal their condition and then they start going back to certain emotions and they see their condition starting to come back again. So they have to work a little harder and shaving it down and staying there. Sometimes when the people have the instantaneous ones, usually it's permanent. I mean, it really is. I mean, they're just different. They're just different to the core. Are really doors. They're dimensional doors. And the more organized and the more coherent and the more beautiful they are, and the more complex and whole, the greater the consciousness is accessible to, more wholeness appears. And so there are numerous accounts, and I'm not this type of swim with the dolphins type of guy. I mean, I'm not that kind of.
I get that. That's why I was surprised.
And when I started seeing them, and I started seeing what was happening, and then people started recounting their experiences. I mean, their experiences. Here's the deal. The being that shows up and grabs the lady's leg and shakes the lady's leg, she said he had no interest in me at all. He just wanted to shake this out, and I was saying to him in my mind, you do realize that hurts. And then another person that had all these other crazy health conditions, from arrhythmias to skin cancer to constipation to shoulder problem to anxiety. The beings show up and they say, hey, remember when you hurt your shoulder 22 years ago? We're going to work with that first. And the same account, they grab it and they start shaking it, and she's like, ow, yeah, it's got to come to the surface. Then they say, remember the time you had the ectopic pregnancy? Yeah, I forgot. Well, they put your intestines in improperly. We're going to work with those. Hey, remember after 9/11, living over there, how you were so stressed out and traveling? Well, your nervous system is out of balance, and then they work with her nervous system, and she feels them, and then, hey, you've had this cancer, and on your skin, and they start rubbing her skin, the whole entire skin, and then your heart, they take her heart out and they put it back in, or this is a crazy thing. And here's the deal. She's a high functioning businesswoman, successful, that's not really spiritually minded. And what's the important point for me? Well, that lady who they shook her knee and her hip and twisted her from side to side, her legs were going all over the place while it was going on, and she's a big lady. All her pain went away. Now, the lady with the skin cancer and the arrhythmias and the shoulder problem and the constipation and the anxiety, none of that. She hasn't had a palpitation. She hasn't had an arrhythmia since. She has had no shoulder pain. Her elimination is perfect. All her skin all of a sudden started scabbing, and all these things started falling. I really don't care. I really don't care what the person's subjective experience is. It's incidental to the effect it produces in their biology, right, or in their life. That's really more important. So you may say that person has a vivid imagination. Really? Well, that was really vivid. So vivid that it epigenetically signaled new genes for health and downregulated genes for disease. I mean, that's how monumental it was. People that are getting their brain scans, and there are 500 standard deviations outside of gamma, sitting there motionless, and the neuroscientist comes running over and breaks them out of the state. Are you okay? He said, what are you doing?
Why'd you do that?
What are you doing? I was just helping. I was with these beings. I was helping all of these souls that were lost between worlds, between matter and that field. They were caught in purgatory. I was helping them across. He said, oh, I thought you were having a seizure. I was very far from